Along the back of the church, there's a street called Paradise Row. This is a cul-de-sac, and at the west end is a stone wall known by the locals at the time as the feuding wall or the spite wall, thought to have been built to prevent the lower classes taking a shortcut in front of the hall and having to walk around the village. After the First World War, when peace came, they had a competition in the village, well, the whole town really, to create arches. There was an arch at the church gates across to the council offices. Paradise had an arch at the entrance to Paradise Row, and I have to say they won the competition. At the far end of Blagdon Terrace lived Dr. Forsyth, number 1. He was employed by the Cramlington Coal Company, and he also treated patients in the surrounding villages. Travelling by horse and trap, he had a groom to drive the trap. The colliers paid for his services 1 shilling to the union and 1 shilling to the doctor. He was a bachelor. He had a housekeeper, Kitty Carter, who was a local woman, who also helped in the surgery. He was a surgeon, a dentist, an anaesthetist, a midwife, and he used to call at the farms on his rounds to buy eggs and veg to take to needy patients. He kept a parrot who spoke with his Scottish accent and called for Kitty. Died 1927 and is buried near the clock tower. He performed the medicals for the lads and men who joined World War I on their testament forms. Opposite Dr. Forsyth's house on the corner is a grave of the Shum Stories of Archaeology Hall. The family grave of Henry Shum Story, Emma, George Henry and Gertrude Isabella Shum Story is in this corner of the churchyard. There is also a marble angel inside the church dedicated to beloved memory of George Shum Story, who died in Malta 18th of December 1869, aged 28. In 1873, a clock and peal of 6 bells were installed in the tower in memory of Edward Potter of Cramlington House, not to be confused with the hall. Cost was borne by the workmen of Cramlington collieries, who agreed to a deduction of 2 and 6pence from their wages for this memorial. He is also buried in the churchyard. St. Nicholas Anglican Church was built on the site of a former church. In 1680, glazed windows with shutters, slated nave, leaded chancel, rush-covered floor and stone altar, candles for lighting and incense to sweeten the air. Through time, this church was too small, so in 21st of December 1843, Sir Matthew White Ridley chaired a meeting of principal landowners and residents of the village. The population merited a new church to seat no less than 500. Public subscriptions commenced, and by 1856 funds raised and Sir John Dobson commissioned to draw plans predicted at a cost of £2,600. The Church Building Society offered £170 and the owners of East and West collieries agreed further subs. Sir Matthew White Ridley laid the foundation stone on the 11th of September 1865 in the presence of Edward Potter, Hugh Taylor of Cramlington Hall and Shum Story of Arcot. It took 3 years to build. Meanwhile, the congregation used a tin church of St. Peter at Shank House. These tin churches were kits, a quick assembly of a church. The new church and burial ground consecrated on the 12th of May 1868. The Blue Bell Inn and the Fox and Hounds had been lime-washed, serving refreshments to the visitors. Stone cottages had their doors and shutters newly painted in a variety of colours for the event. There were some buildings in the grounds at the front of the church for the sextons. These were demolished in 1906. And the ground was gifted by Lord Ridley for the churchyard.